All right. So, yeah, we were thinking about like which instrument. I think do you have a ukulele or a piano or?
I think the piano is probably the most complicated one to film at, so I have a ukulele here. I can do that.
All right, cool. Okay, so I'll have to figure out where you're at with the ukulele. So, um, let me just bring up my program here. You play, actually, I think we talked about this a bit. You play tablature a bit or mostly
Yeah.
chords?
Mostly
Okay,
chords.
cool.
Yeah.
But you understand tablature?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Um, Okay, what would you say that you feel you need help with the ukulele?
Um, I think maybe just like chord retention above like the major ones. Um, like I do really well with like C, F, E minor, um, A, all of those. But once it kind of branches out of those major chords, then I start to like lose my retention to remember.
Cool. Sure. All right, I'll show you some like underlying patterns. And
Okay.
then the cool thing about these patterns is that like the cool thing with guitar is that if you like understand certain patterns, those patterns will always apply to like minor chords, major chords, etc.
Hmm.
So just gotta get my ukulele. There it is. All right, so so pretty much what you can do is if you figure out a chord in open position, so you already know that this is G. Oops, that one there.
Hopefully this one.
So, yep, so G major. This one will be G major. And the thing is, if you know that what the open chord is,
Hmm.
it'll be the same thing if you move it up. So it's the same pattern, but now it'll be up one, so this essentially will be like a G sharp or A flat slash A flat.
Oh, there's a.
Yeah, now this one is like tricky. So actually, I probably shouldn't have started with this one in particular, but yeah,
Oh,
this one's like
that one.
in order to play this one, you have to be like first finger here, um, second finger here, fourth finger here, and then third finger here. But anyways, that's let me just actually grab a different chord. I think a better chord would probably be A minor. Okay, so we got A minor.
Hmm.
Now, if we take that same chord, we're just gonna move it up one. Essentially, what you're gonna do is you'll have essentially the same thing here. So it's be third finger, and then first will be just a bar across there. Now bars are a little tricky, but
There's the dog.
always. Yeah, so you see here if we had like the A minor, which is 2 0 0 0, but then we move that one up. We go now 3 1 1 1.
3 1 1 1.
Yeah. Should be
This?
that'll right now you've got 3 2 2 2.
Oh, 3 1.
The bar chord will probably be the trickiest part.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't like bars. They hurt
So
me.
what you can do instead, yeah, so that'd essentially be an A sharp minor. But this is a minor chord pattern. If you
Hmm.
move that up again, then we got B, B minor. Yep. And then C minor. Nice. Now the problem with Zoom, are you on a laptop by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. The problem with Zoom, which I probably should have done earlier, is it takes the sound out of the background,
Oh yeah, the
and it,
background sound.
unfortunately, it thinks the ukulele is background noise, so it like edits it out essentially. Um, but if you go to where it says audio and it has like the little arrow pointing up, you
Mm-hmm.
click on that and then go to audio settings.
Mm-hmm. Low.
Um, there should be a spot that says original sound for musicians.
Hmm. Original sound for musicians. Cool.
And then you want to click on high fidelity music mode.
Okay.
And if you come back to our faces,
Do you want echo?
above our heads, it'll probably say like up here something, original sound for musicians off, and then just click that on.
Okay. And do you want echo cancellation?
I think it should be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's hear the A minor one more time.
That's this one.
Yeah, perfect. Nice. So yeah, you see, so if you know that pattern, you just keep moving that pattern up, then you'll have all like A minor, A sharp minor, B minor, C minor, C sharp minor, D minor, D sharp minor, E minor. So it's cool because you learn one and you can apply it to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now the trick with that is to know. Um, Actually, I'm going to use paint. The trick with that is to know like what you're moving to. So I'll just write this here. We got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A again. Now they're all tones. I'll talk about tones in a sec. They're all tones. A to B is a tone, C to D is a tone, D to E is a tone, F to G is a tone, and G to A back to A is a tone. So they're all tones except for BC, which is a semitone, and EF, which is also a semitone. And that's how I usually tell my students to remember that this pattern is just say, because I remember back when I was looking at this pattern when I was younger, and I was like, they're like, here's the pattern, and then I was like, okay, well, how will I remember this pattern? And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna focus on like what they all are. So they're all tones except for BC and EF.
Mm-hmm.
And some students will come up with like little sayings like British Columbia and I don't know, electronic uh,
Mortification.
firefighters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what people said for this one, EF. But if you look at the keyboard, actually, this would probably be better for you. If you look at the keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
there's a black key between all of them except for BC and E and F.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm familiar with tones and semitones.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you're we started on A minor. That means if we want to go to B minor, we have to go up a tone.
Right. Which would be
And that's
this.
why with A minor it was 2 0 0 0, and then B minor it'll be what is it? 4 4 2 2 2.
Oh, 4 2 2 2.
Yep. Because with tone you always want a +2. Say tone equals +2. +2 or -2.
Should trim
Or
my
minus
pencil.
2.
There's a lesson for everyone. Trim your nails before a lesson.
Yeah. -1. You had one student, she really didn't want to cut her nails. So she always had like really long nails trying to play all these chords and stuff.
It's way
It was
harder.
really it was much trickier for her, but she could play some of the chords. It was a lot more awkward.
Yeah.
So I'll send you this pattern later, but I'll just delete this here. But yeah, so all tones except for B, C, and E, F, and then you can use that to figure out any chord by figuring out the first chord of the open, and then just kind of moving it up. Let's try that actually with some other chords. So let me think of another chord. Probably a simple one would be C major. So C major. So first, yeah, play C major, and then we'll move it up. Okay, how would we make that? We'll move that up one to C sharp major.
So C sharp major is probably, I don't know. Is it? No, I have no idea.
So you just want to plus everything by one.
So
So if
four,
we
one, one,
go boom like that, now we'll have 1 1 1 4.
one. Okay, I was gonna
Yep,
say that, but I was not confident enough.
nice. Okay, now how about if we go up another one? What will the next one up be called? So we know this is C sharp major.
Uh-huh. So is it D something?
Yep, exactly. Yep,
Let me hear it.
yep.
Minor? D minor?
Nope, D major.
D major.
Yep. Actually, you always want to go based off of the first one. So because this one, oh damn it, clicked the wrong button. One sec. It's loading a new score. Okay. Yeah, so you always want to go based off of the first one. So because this one's C major,
Mm-hmm.
the rest of them will also be major. It'll be C sharp major, and then this will be D major. Also, I don't know if you know, but um, with major, they usually just say like uh, just like the note, essentially like that. Like they won't be like D
Yeah.
major like that. This is kind of like just saying it as like D is just kind of shorthand for D major.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Um, yeah, so you can do that with a whole bunch of them. So let's play another open chord that you can remember, and we'll see if we can turn that into a
Okay. Ain't that
nice. Yep,
bad.
what's the name of that one?
Is it F?
Yep. Okay, now we're gonna go make this here. We got 2 0 1 0. Okay, how do we make that F? This one will be a little bit tricky because you'll have to move the fingers that you choose.
Mm-hmm. So is
Um,
it it'll be 3 1 2 1?
yep.
I don't know what the
And
fingers
so the
are.
fingers you use with that is the fingers, usually when you move it up one, it'll be exactly the fingers that that are the frets. So three will be third finger, one will be first finger, two will be second finger, and one will be one first finger.
Okay, let me look at that again. 1 2 1. So how do you do that? Oh, because
I'll
it's a
show you.
bar? Is it a bar on the top?
Yeah, so it'll look like essentially like this. Yeah, perfect. And you're barring with that first finger. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you actually see more advanced players, they'll be like using that kind of pattern like kind of higher up.
Mm-hmm.
When
So if
people
you
are
wanted
kind of first starting with chords, they're kind of playing open chords here.
yeah,
But then as they get more advanced, they start like moving those chords like up higher and stuff. But also sometimes people will just put the capo on and
yeah.
then they can just play those chords higher up.
So you would have to
Yeah,
move
that's
up two frets to move up a tone with that.
yep. So we got sorry, F major, F sharp, and then this will be G here. Now here's the cool thing that we know that this one. Actually, I'm gonna show it on the thing here because it'll be way more obvious here. Okay, so we figured out that oops, that'll be fine. So we figured out that this is G major because we moved this pattern up um, a tone. But you also know G major as,
Hmm.
okay, so it's just pretty much the same way of playing it, but like just slightly different with that one note. That's because C, D, this will be D here. Um, E, F, G, this is G, and A, B. So essentially this is the G chord, like a G, G, B, D. You've got the same going along here, G, B, D. But then this one down here is G, A, B. This is B again. And this one here is G again. So essentially it's like they're still doing like the triad in the sense that it's the 1 3 5 like up here,
Hmm.
but this one is just that bottom. Technically, all you need is these three
Yeah.
to make the chord, but one of them adds in another B and the other one adds in another G.
Yeah. So it kind of gives it a different tone.
Exactly. And also the thing about I would say this pattern is probably easier to play than this pattern. Like this pattern as we showed up here would be this one here.
Hmm.
Like if we move this pattern up, but this pattern is like kind of awkward to play a little bit. Having to like first finger, second finger, pinky finger, third finger. I mean, it totally can be done, but it's just a bit awkward. So
Hmm. Yeah, my
I don't
fingers
usually use that one.
stretch that far.
Now, one thing you can do as well, a lot of people will do this actually, is they'll just focus on the top three notes.
Yeah, that's what I tend to do whenever I'm like learning a new song just for fun, is I'll just simplify the chords because I don't
Yep.
want to learn well, I don't want to contort myself, I guess,
Yeah,
if I don't
yeah.
have to. Because I have like tiny like little hands, so sometimes like hitting those like certain
Yep.
chords it's like painful.
Yeah, for sure. And also as you play, like the more your hand will be able to like stretch.
Hmm.
But like when you first started, I had one student who like did a lot of construction work and his hands were like his like hands were like concrete essentially. So like I'm like stretch your hand out and he's like "Gah!" But yeah, I mean like just doing stuff like sometimes when I'm watching like a YouTube video, just like doing stuff like that
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
be
it's
good. Or like
really
against the table like that. But yeah, the thing is, here's the weird thing is my left hand, you can see is like way more stretched than my right hand.
good. Hmm.
That's because like the guitar, right? Whereas this hand doesn't really need to do much here, like it doesn't really stretch, but this one's like always doing weird stuff. But if you do piano, it kind of starts to balance that out a bit more.
Hmm.
But
No, it's true actually. Like, I mean, I guess you it makes sense, but when you like as a someone who used to be a dancer, like you have to stretch your muscles in order to be able to do a kick or whatever without hurting yourself, and it would make sense that it's just on a smaller scale.
yeah, and people will hurt themselves like with a big chord and their
Yeah.
hands not stretched. Or like, they might like, oh, my hand kind of hurts a bit today.
Yeah.
They just stretched a bit too far on that.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
yeah, so that can work. Now, let me just show you um, two. Actually, you know what? I've got a perfect exercise for you. There's pretty much like three. I'm gonna keep those actually. I'll send you those later. I'll open up a new one. Yeah, there's pretty much like three main patterns. Um, and you can see the patterns with this exercise. You play through all of them. I don't know if you've done it before in piano, but when they do like the
I know of that. I haven't done it
yeah,
myself.
it's called inversions. You kind
Yeah.
of bum 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 bum. Um, it's pretty much the same three notes, but in different um, different like one is kind of flipped on top kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like first it's like A C E, pretty much is the way it goes. It goes A. Let's say the chord is ACE. The next chord will be CEA, and then it'll be EAC, and then the last chord will be ACE. And then they call this one the root position. So I'm going to use root position, and then first inversion, second inversion, and then back to root position. And they usually say INV.
Oh, that's cool. So, like, yeah, I've done inversions through piano, like in my book,
Yep.
um, because I kind of was teaching myself through like those, I don't know, those like piano lesson books.
Yep.
But it didn't really click to me that, like, the way you just explained it makes it a lot more simple than how I was trying to understand it. And that's just
Cool,
the
cool.
bottom one moves to the top, and that's the first, and then the next bottom one moves to the top, and that's the second. So
Yep. Yeah,
that
it's
was
just a way of. Oh, sorry, what's that?
I was just saying, like, it's simple, but just putting it like that made it make so much more sense.
Mm.
And it's like way less thinking now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Nice, nice. Another way you can think of it too is 135, because all chords, all triads, like all primary chords are like 135. 135 and then 351
Hmm.
and then 513 and then back to 135.
Yeah, that's
And then
cool.
like if you have another chord on top of that, like 135,
Hmm.
then you put in a seven, then that would be known as like let's say this 135 was a major, then this would be a major seven. But if the bottom half was a minor, we'll say minor,
Hmm.
then the top one would be a minor seven. And that seven would literally just be the seventh note. So like in this case, A minor. A minor is just A, C, E. And then the seven would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we add a seven up there, that's a minor seven. So if you just know the foundation of the 135, then you
Hmm.
can apply different sometimes they'll say like sus 4 or like add 9 and stuff like that. That's pretty much what they're talking about. It's just kind of like whatever the bottom note is the one, and then if you call that the one, then therefore the 9 will be B
Hmm.
way up here.
Yeah, no, that's cool too, because then you don't have to memorize which notes make the chord, right? You can just focus on the
Exactly. Yep. You
interval.
know the underlying pattern, and you can just apply that pattern like anywhere. Yep.
Hmm.
So doing this inversion on the ukulele will look like this. I want to show this. We'll go with yeah, we'll do this one first. 3. Yeah, that should be good. Those three, and that just shows you the three major patterns. And so I like to call them like to remember the pattern. I like to think of it as like kind of more like a story, like a metaphorical story. So this one I see as being like a pyramid, or like a sideways pyramid.
Yeah.
Um, or you could, sometimes I see that in my mind as like a sideways pyramid, but you could also think of it as like a play button, like play button, and then this one, I don't know, this one's kind of like an L because like boom, like that. That's how I kind of view it. And then this last one is kind of like also an L, but like this way. So I don't know how you can like what kind of things you can kind of metaphors you can use in
Oh,
terms
you
of
mean as
remembering
far
those,
as
but
like the pattern goes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this doesn't make sense to me, just by looking at it. So, because if I'm looking at here, we have one, and then we're going up a third, right? So theoretically, oh, okay, so that would go to five. Okay, so then why does the third chord also go to five, but the first one goes, or sorry, the third string also go to five, whereas the first string only goes to three?
um, well, let's look at it with the note names. So we've got a G, um, E, F. Oh, sorry, what am I doing? No, that's not G, C. Sorry, I was thinking in guitar. E, F, and what is this one? That should be A, but for some reason that's not making sense. E, F. Sorry, I'm a bit tired today. Um,
That's okay. I'm not
ghosts,
helpful right
ghosts
now.
can't eat apples. A, yeah, this will be A. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was thinking because when I flip between guitar and ukulele, it messes me up. But yeah, so this will be an F major triad because um, F, A, C. That'll be the 1, 3, 5. Yeah. Now, so this one technically will be the because the F, sorry, the C is on the bottom. So
Hmm.
as we saw earlier, when it's the 5 is on the bottom, that's the second inversion. So actually here we're starting off with second inversion. And then this one here, so then the whole thing's going to flip. So um, now it's going to go F, A, C, and we're back to root position. And then this one here is A, A, C, F.
Okay.
Now
Yeah, that makes
you
sense.
can test that too. So you can be like, and I'll show you the math behind why that clicks.
Hmm.
But you can test it, be like, play this note here, play this note here, and then play this note here, and you go, okay, these should be the same note.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then this one also should be the same note, but now it's actually up an octave because it's being flipped up after moving to the bottom. Oh,
One, two. Oh, I did the wrong one. It was a good year though.
yeah. There you go. So yeah, so basically you're doing second inversion, root, and then first inversion, which is kind of a little backwards, but um, that's kind of the way it is with switching between. Because the thing is, music theory is more piano based. It
Hmm.
just makes more sense piano wise. Because it's like it's so like, okay, here's the 1, here's the 3, here's the 5.
Yeah.
But then when you put it to like ukulele, you can still do like start with the root
Hmm.
and work up, but it's not always as cut and dry.
Right.
But yeah, if you practice these three, these are the three main major chords that you
Hmm.
can use in any other position. So we know, like, let's say this one here. Oops, I'm gonna delete this one here. Go with that. Yeah, so this one here, we'll say it's like the L pattern. Um, we can move that around. So if we move that from this one here, but we move it up a tone, now we have a G major. This one up a tone will be 7, 7, 5. Yeah, exactly.
And then up a tone is two. One, two.
Yeah, so you can choose from any of these patterns. and then just move it as you like and find that pattern in that particular area of the neck. All right, so let me take a picture of that. Oh, I shouldn't have used I shouldn't have used what do you call it? Yellow.
Yeah.
I'll send that later. I'll
Yeah,
redo that.
I'll still see it, probably. Okay.
Okay, and now we'll do minor and then we'll wrap up. So a good minor one would be probably D minor. We do D minor first here. Then we have 555. And then I can't remember the last one.
Sorry, dog bark.
And 8. There you go.
And then we have 8, 9.
Nice. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, this one is kind of like cut and dry, like I was saying earlier. Whereas this one actually is the root. This is first inversion, and this is second inversion. Because we have this is the D minor chord, and the D is the root. Therefore, it's the root. So C, D, like that. D, F, G, A. Yep. And so I would say with these two exercises,
Mm-hmm.
this one and this one, just kind of practice going minor inversion. Just practice going up and down them. So like, you'd be like, or and it can be kind of a nice way to, like, sometimes I'll throw those into like a song. So let's say I'm playing like, you know what I mean? So like I'll be like C, D minor, and then I go, okay, D minor, I know that inversion thing. So instead of just sitting on D minor, which you can totally do, if you want to make it a little more complicated, you could just play it in different spots, and then you add a little more kind of richness to it.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
Nice. And one thing I would say too about when you're arpeggiating them, so you're going like that with the thumb, I would say make sure in terms of technique, you want to go thumb, index, middle, ring. So
You say that one more time. Thumb.
yeah, so thumb will always be on G string. Not
Yeah.
always, but rule of thumb, pun intended. And index finger on index finger on C string,
Okay.
middle finger on E string, and then ring finger on A string. So when you're doing that thumb, like a lot of people like to use their thumb like a pick,
Yeah.
but even better technique wise, that's like a good start. But better technique would be index, middle, ring when you do that part.
Makes sense because you can move faster that way.
Yep. And then you can do cool patterns like or just kind of play around with that.
bit of practice.
Yep. Now the first one you can that they usually recommend practicing is the what is it called? Uh, Ascending descending pattern. So you just climb up, boom, 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 boom. That's usually one of my favorite patterns is just the descending. Da 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 da. So
How do you do that one? So it's
you're just going ring middle index, ring middle index, ring middle index.
oh, okay, cool. I thought you were going back. I thought I heard you going back, so that's why.
Yeah, it's kind of a little strange because I accent some of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I wanted to keep it in like the 4/4 framework. I'm pretty sure it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though there's three, technically it should be nine. But then that would throw the rhythm off because it usually wants to fit into a pattern of like 4/4 or like 8/8 kind of thing.
Hmm.
So when I get to the eight, then I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I think that what I was hearing is like kind of jumping back on the second one.
Now, also before we go,
Yeah.
because it's just simple. Um, sorry, I don't, hope I'm not like keeping you from something.
No, 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 you're good.
Okay, cool, cool. So just because it's really good to know. What they usually call those is PIMA, and that will be essentially thumb, index, middle ring, but it's using the Portuguese words for thumb. Like this one would be pulgar, this one's indexio, and this one's a mildastri or something, and then this one is like angular or something.
Hmm.
But the you can also switch it to. Some people are really like hardcore about this and like you have to, always teach it this way,
Hmm.
But I think that that's good, like long term. But short term, I think it might be a little better for students to remember and to be able to think of certain concepts if they just think of the one that they're familiar with. So TIMR, thumb, index, middle ring, Timmer. So, and then if you want to find different patterns, you can just say to yourself, oh, what if I did the, I am RM, so I am RM AM pattern. So the I am RM AM pattern would be if you kept the fingers on their respective strings and you just went I am RM, oh, sorry, I am, what am I doing here? Yeah, I am, oh, sorry, wait. I'm
Yeah,
switching
you can
between
count
them. I am RM, A is R. Yeah.
it.
I am RM, I am pattern. Let's just say. So I am RM, I am, I am RM, I am. That'd be the I am RM pattern.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so like when you go to the exam, they'll be like, okay, play the, they'll say like, play the PIMI AM pattern. And then you have to be like, okay, PIMI AM, kind of thing pattern.
Hmm.
You think of it. But anyways, you can make up your own patterns and then, just practice them. It's just different ways to like, keep your fingers guessing, right?
That's good.
Cool. All right. Thanks for helping with my free lesson thing.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for free lessoning me.
On. All right. Take care.
Bye. See you.
Bye.